All right, I would like to call to order the January 21st Milford City Council meeting. Will you please stand for the pledge in a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Jackie, can you please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor Evans?
Here.
Vice Mayor Parrish?
Here.
Mr. Velardo?
Here.
Mr. Price?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Ms. Cooper?
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Here. All right, the first topic on the agenda is a swearing in. We always love to welcome new people on committees here in Milford. So Amy, would you come up to the podium and swearing into the Parks and Rec Commission?
Raise your right hand. I, and state your name. Promise and swear. To support the Constitution of the United States. Of America. The Constitution of the State of Ohio. And the Charter of the City of Milford. And to faithfully. Honestly. And impartially. Discharge the duties of. Parks and Recreation Commission member. To the best of my abilities. So help me God. Congratulations, Amy.
You have all kind of new positions this last
Yes.
week, right? Yes, congratulations on all of those, both of those.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you. All right, that takes us to proceedings. Do I have a motion to approve the council meeting proceedings from January 7th?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. In financial statements, do I have a motion to receive the December 2024 finance report?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
And that takes us to public comments. Is there anyone in the public that would like to make a comment? Mr. Cooper? That, I see none. That takes us to standing committee reports. Community Development, Mrs. Cooper.
Thank you, Mayor. Community Development Committee met on January 13th. I called the meeting to order at 5:48 p.m. Present were myself, Brad Price, Christopher Parrish. Staff was City Manager Benjamin Gunderson and Executive Assistant Jackie Bain. No visitors. Proceedings, Mr. Price made a motion to approve the minutes from the April 9th, 2024 Community Development Committee meeting, seconded by Mr. Parrish. We are all in agreement. Discussion was the 2024-2025 salt purchase for the Service Department. On behalf of the Service Department Supervisor, Ed Hackmeister, City Manager Benjamin Gunderson presented the State of Ohio 2024 salt tabulation regarding the cost per ton for the City of Milford. Mr. Gunderson stated that the lowest cost per ton of salt is $86.81 from Compass Minerals. According to Mr. Gunderson, the Service Department is requesting to purchase 750 tons of salt to add to the 450 tons that we currently have in the salt barn, for a total cost not to exceed $66,000. The committee reviewed the rock salt bid number 24-034 SWOP4G bid tab information. Without further committee discussion, the committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance authorizing rock salt in the amount not to exceed $66,000.
Second.
Can I have a question real quick? During your discussion, I know we go all over the board with salt. Is that the price that it's been for the last, because a couple of years ago, it got way out. I mean, it was well over $100 or whatever. Do we know, is 86, is that consistent with what rock salt? Just curious more than anything else.
I don't know from the previous years.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can speak on the previous years. I know that Ed felt very comfortable with that price, and he said that historically he felt that was lower, but I don't know in terms of an exact amount.
Well, Lisa or Kim, you may
was up
remember,
over
a couple of
$100.
years, it was like well over 100. I mean, it got significant. And I bring that up. Does that make our salt barn full, or is that at capacity? Because if that is a low price, I mean, why wouldn't we just fill up the salt barn to its capacity?
I know that during the recent snowstorms, we used quite a bit of salt.
Sure.
My understanding is that would fill it up. Now, I know we've used some since that conversation that I had last with Ed, but my understanding was that would reach, but it sense.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes. Next, with the discussion, America 250, Ohio Communities Resolution. In coordination with the Claremont County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Milford, Miami Township Chamber of Commerce, and Greater Milford Area Historical Society Executive Director Andrea Brady presented information at the May 7th, 2024 City Council meeting about the America 250 Ohio Commission. All council members were in favor of the America 250 organization. At this time, we are being asked to become an official American 250 community. In order to do so, we must present resolution information to come before the committee for approval to move forward to council for consideration. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft a resolution for the city of Milford of Ohio supporting the Ohio Commission for the United States semi-quincentennial America 250 Ohio.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Our next discussion was imposing the 180-day moratorium amending Ordinance 24-303. City Manager Benjamin Gunderson brought before the committee information on Ordinance 24-303, moratorium on adult-use cannabis dispensaries and prohibiting marijuana cultivators and processors within the city of Milford. Also limited the dispensaries to one. Mr. Gunderson recommends that we continue the moratorium since we are working through the zoning code revisions at this time. The committee briefly discussed regulations regarding businesses in the city of Milford with reference to zoning codes. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance amending Ordinance 24-303 to extend the 180-day moratorium on adult-use cannabis dispensaries and the prohibiting marijuana cultivators and processors within the city of Milford.
Second.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper? Chamberlain?
Yes.
Our next discussion was capital funding for the 5 Points. Anderson spoke with the State Representative Schmidt's office regarding the $400,000 in state capital funding, Ohio Office of Budget and Management for 5 Points Landing Park. The city has received funding for Phase 2 of the park. The total amount of funding to be received is $400,000, which is eligible to be spent on the Five Points Landing Park location. Mr. Gunderson is looking to get approval from the committee to move this information forward to get legislation allowing him to receive those funds for the city. Mr. Price mentioned that Ability Commission meeting, the commission mentioned that they would like the city to explore being able to capture the 18,000 gallons of water that is put through the fountain to be cleaned and irrigated at the park, as well as implementing a pollinator garden at the park. Mr. Gunderson agreed that there are a lot of sustainability type measures and opportunities that we can explore. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing the city manager to accept $400,000 from the Ohio Office of Budget and Management, the OBM, for Five Points Landing Park.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes. There being no further business, the meeting adjourned at 6:10 p.m.
All right, thank you very much. That takes us to the city manager report. Mr. Gunderson.
Thank you, Mayor. To start with the 100-day plan that we laid out last meeting, we have started to meet internally to discuss the 5-year plan. So far, I've met with the water, street, and wastewater departments, and then I'll be meeting with the police department on Monday. So the plan that we've laid out is simply that of first meeting will be that of compiling a list. We'll then meet with finance to determine the feasibility, and a lot of that has to do with revenue. So we might want it in year 1, but maybe revenue say that's more of a year 2 or year 3. So sort of establishing what that looks like, and then we'll start to create a plan thereafter. Staff attended a meeting with the Milford School District Superintendent, Treasurer, and 2 board members. I felt that meeting was very productive, and it was not only a good introduction for myself, but also was a good opportunity for us to discuss future collaboration efforts in terms of marketing and really showcasing all the great things we have going on both in the schools and the city. So I was happy with that introduction. The city will be searching for a new IT consultant to help with the day-to-day technology needs. As council is well aware, we have several upcoming improvements that we'd like to make to council chambers, as well as some needs in terms of storage, servers, stuff of that nature. So we'll be seeking a new IT consultant. Hopefully it will hold those first round meetings within the next 30 days. Staff also met with the Chamber, Director Andrea Brady, to discuss the Chamber of Commerce and all the great things that they offer. We also discussed that of the state of the city. I discussed this, I believe, a couple meetings ago, but I really want to improve the state of the city beyond just the meeting. I want it to be an event in which we invite business owners and residents, and to me, that's a way to create that buy-in, to show that we've got all these great things going on. So we discussed having that in March, so I believe more information will be coming once we have further conversations. Vision development passed unanimously last Tuesday at Planning Commission. That's, I believe, a catalyst for that area in terms of redevelopment. That's a $65 million project that'll bring 350 units to the empty lot next to Target. So the project is looking to get started in June of 2025. Staff will be holding a pre-construction meeting on January 24th with first steps. So that's simply just to walk through the process and get that water tower here as quickly as possible. On Thursday, I'll be speaking at the Miami Woods HOA meeting, and that will serve as an introduction and really just my role as city manager. I'm excited. I was invited to speak at the HOA, and I think that'll be a good opportunity to meet some residents, and hopefully they won't have super hard questions I won't be able to answer.
Oh, they already got them.
So I'm looking forward to that. We have a Safety Services Committee meeting on February 5th at 3 p.m. And then some upcoming reminders. We have a City Council meeting February 4th. On February 10th, we have a Milford Community Sustainability Commission meeting at 4 p.m. On February 11th at 6 p.m., we have a Planning Commission meeting. Also on February 11th, we have a Parks and Recreation meeting. On February 12th at 2 p.m., we have a Tree Commission meeting. Also on February 12th at 6:30 p.m., we have a Tree 101 class. Do you want to give more? Are you going to talk more
I
on
was
that?
going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll save all the good details for later. On February 17th, the city offices will be closed to observe President's Day. And then lastly, on February 18th at 7 p.m., we will have another council meeting. And that is all I have unless there's any questions.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That takes us to Chief Mills and the police report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council. I'll keep this short because I don't have much of a voice tonight. So I don't have a report, but I do want to remind you that this is the time of year that we're working on our annual report where we compile all the data and successes and challenges throughout the year. And I look forward to presenting that at a future upcoming council meeting, probably in March. That's all I have unless you have anything for me.
All right, thank you.
It's probably a record for me.
I know, it might be. Chief Baird, Fire and EMS.
Look at that smile out of Chief Baird.
I'll take his time. I don't have much either. Couple things. The digital sign in front of the fire station is in service. As I told you all a while back, when we concluded the smoke and CO detector program, we had money left that we were able to get the federal government to allow us to pay for the majority of that digital sign. Firefighter Evans and Councilmember Thompson in his other role, his career role, they're going to be helping me to put messages up there. I've got a couple things up. It have a grant stipulation that 75% of have to be fire and injury prevention slides. That's easy content, so we can always put other stuff on there, but it looks really good. We're really proud of that. And the second thing is we're very happy to report the new ambulance should be in service Friday. We had a supply chain issue that was holding us up. I mean, we were really very close. They have a lot of the equipment on it already. They're finishing up the graphics probably tomorrow, give the paint work a little bit of time to dry. And I think they're going to try to put it in backup service on Friday. We've been doing driver's training with it. So a lot of the staff is already, it's not a bunch of training on it, but most of the staff, or a lot of the staff at least, is coming up to speed on it. So we're really excited about it. It's a beautiful truck, and it will serve the residents in the capacity that it is intended in a very good way, I believe. So, and then finally, I just want to remind everybody, this is really for the community as much as the council. We have available a tremendous number of combination smoke and CO detectors, our residential key boxes, and also child safety seat checks. We have all that stuff available. If knows of anybody who needs any of those services, needs any of that equipment, just call the station, 513-831-7777, or go to the website and send me an email about it, and we'll get you set up. Do you have any questions for us? I haven't talked to the city manager yet, but I do intend to do a short presentation like I normally do during the winter or early spring. I would prefer to do it as a short work session, but I can always do it in the main council, whatever worked for you. But whenever we can get that scheduled, I just need a few minutes just to bring them up to speed with what the fire board voted on as far as the budget for the year and what our goals and objectives are. So, any questions for me? Thank you much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that takes us to council comments. Would anyone on council like to make a comment?
I would like to talk about the upcoming tree classes that we have. The Tree Commission is super excited to offer 2 classes this spring. One on February 12th, which is Trees 101, and this is going to be taught by horticulturalist and landscape architect Susan Fox. It's going to be held here at the city building at 6:30 to 8 o'clock in the Harry Hodges conference room. And then also we have one on March 12th, which will be the art and science of pruning trees, which will be taught by certified arborist David Gamstetter. And that again is at 6:30 to 8 o'clock.
Awesome.
And mark on your calendars, April 25th, that's our Arbor Day, and we're hoping to do a really big Arbor Day celebration, celebrating a tree in our city.
Awesome.
That we hope is a nice old age
Okay, nice.
to come.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else have a comment? All right, that takes us to our committee of the whole meeting. Do I have someone make a motion to open the committee of the whole meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
All right, so I will call to order the committee of the whole meeting. I guess we still have to do a roll call, I guess? Roll call?
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Here.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
I don't think so, but do we have any public comments for the committee of the whole meeting? All right, seeing none, I will start with the items referred to the committee and turn it over to Mr. Gunderson, I guess?
Perfect. Yes. Thank you, Mayor. First item is the Tax Incentive Review Council. This is a resolution. It's a new rule that was passed along to us through the county. They're asking that we appoint 2 members, either to a term that doesn't end or a 2-year term, and that's simply to avoid having to renew it each year. My recommendation is that we appoint the city manager, myself, as well as our finance director to the Tax Incentive Review Council. And as a friendly reminder, what that is when we have active incentives, we have to review that annually and then submit a report to the state. So typically the finance director and the city manager have the most interaction with those incentives. I am asking for.
I'll gladly make that motion.
I'll second that. I'll second it, Jackie. Third, fourth.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Well, thank you for that. I'm glad I made a good recommendation. Second item is the JED 8 with Union Township. I believe this has been a discussion previously prior to my time. However, I wanted to formalize who would be the council representative for the JED. For 1 through 7, Councilmember Velardo is the representative. I know that I've spoken with him and he has expressed interest in also representing us for JED 8, but I just wanted to ensure that council is in agreement and we formalize that.
Yeah, I'll make that nomination.
Second.
Mr. Velardo?
I think I should abstain. Do I have to abstain, or can I vote on
No,
myself?
you can vote on yourself.
Okay, yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Alrighty, the next one is the council committee information for 2025. Jackie did a phenomenal job laying this out, so I simply need approval to solidify the committees and the representatives.
So I did notice under the Community Improvement Corporation, it does have the old city manager listed and another one that's not a resident anymore.
Well, they don't have to be residents.
Change that.
Because right
The
now, it's like
CIC,
kind of not existing.
Yeah,
Good point.
which we will be having somewhat shortly, and that
Okay.
will certainly be taken care of.
Just making sure.
Good,
Thank
good
you.
catch.
And usually the committees, unless someone like really wants to move, usually that happens every 2 years. So like next January, committees could change.
I would make a motion that we keep the committee's assignments as is.
Second?
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Thank you. Next item is the City Council 2025 schedule for the summer sessions. I simply need approval for that.
I have one are we in love with that June, only because I have a vacation planned already, I'm gonna miss that June, I know we only have one. Are we in love with that third Tuesday, or is anyone opposed to moving it to the first Tuesday?
First?
Yeah, that would be second, June 2nd.
I'm not sure what my vacation is yet, so
I try to plan mine out early and often, so I want to make sure. And that one just happened to,
When's the
I don't have
meeting
any
before
problems
that,
with
the
that.
20th? I don't have a problem.
and if need be, obviously,
I'm probably fine.
yeah.
Anybody else, any thoughts?
I just hate to vote on something I know I'm not going to be there.
Right,
anyway,
no, I-
So,
I'm fine with that date.
yeah. So it would be
Have my
then June 2nd, July 15th, and August 19th.
That's a long time in between meetings from June 2nd to the 15th.
It
If we
is.
have to, we can have a meeting on the 17th.
You can always call on.
Yeah,
We can always call a meeting, I guess. What do you think, Mr.
Summer.
Gunderson?
yeah.
That's fine.
Works for me.
Will you?
Be
Sounds good.
June 3rd.
Well,
It'd be
you're
the
gonna
3rd, though, right?
Oh,
June
third, was that the
is
third, whatever the
Tuesday?
first Tuesday.
Yeah,
is
the third is
You're gonna be
the
on a
third.
honeymoon at that time?
Oh,
Oh.
To be determined.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
yeah.
If you have to miss, you can miss, or we can just have it the 17th.
Yeah, whatever.
That's a
I'm just
Thanksgiving
saying,
week, Mr.
from
Velardo.
my standpoint, I know I'm not gonna be there on the June meeting, so if no one's opposed to it, you can keep it that way and I'll miss it, or whatever works best.
I can take your place. Have a trump card on that.
So what was the
we decide?
consensus?
I'm fine with the first Tuesday in June. That works for me.
Yeah, it works for me.
Is it better to have a meeting without Mr. Velardo, or better to have a meeting without Mr. Gunderson?
Oh,
Put
don't
everyone
ask
on the
that.
spot.
Don't put people on the spot.
I'm just asking, I will not be at the June, so if you do happen to have one.
we split the difference on the 10th?
Yeah,
Yeah, what if we do the 10th?
Will that mess it up for planning and,
not really,
no, not really, right? So
no.
do it the second?
Yeah, the
Second
10th?
Tuesday?
Yeah, do it
10th?
the second.
That's fine with me.
Does that work for you? Brian, does that mess up your?
No, that's good.
Again, I don't know
I'm
when
still
my
good on-
trip is
thank you
gonna
for
be,
asking.
So
So-
June 10th, yeah, that,
Okay, let's do it.
Tuesdays are good too.
that way you don't have as big as laps in between.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of splits
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, June 10th, that
Jackie,
is?
is that okay with you?
So I would make a motion to
Right.
change the June date listed on the schedule you provided to June 10th,
There you
but
go.
to otherwise adopt the schedule as published.
There you go.
Thank you.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Brian, I just figured you were gonna charge us whether you were here or not, so, you know.
You get the same level, same level of service.
Alrighty, and lastly, I don't know if council has provided any information on this Terracon agreement. I just got this here recently. Just a brief summary of this, and I don't know if any action needs to be taken. We can certainly say this for the next meeting. The parking lot that's next to Harvest Market, the city's been working through some remedial efforts regarding some petroleum that's in the ground. And we received approval of a Tier 2 evaluation, which means we have to submit a remedial action plan. And Terracon has been our consultant for that, and they have provided a proposal, or will provide a proposal to send back to the state as our remedial efforts to reduce and ensure that the petroleum is not spreading in the ground. That comes at a cost of $9,000, which is above my spending limit. But to emphasize what this is this is simply a remedial action plan that they will submit on our behalf. Based off of my understanding, the state will have 45 to 60 days to review it. And then upon approval, we would have roughly 12 months to complete the process in which we would follow. My understanding is we'll follow a similar process to what is going to be in the ground up at the Superfund site, and it's essentially it's going to contain the petroleum, and then there's I don't, for the lack of better words, bad guys that go and attack the petroleum so it doesn't spread. So, Brian, I don't know, and I don't know if council would be comfortable with making a motion. So we have a March 31st deadline. So if we had to wait to the next meeting, so be it. But I don't know if that can be done in simple motion.
We'd have to do it by ordinance, so you can have me
Okay.
do it for the next one, and we'll put it on for February 4th. And that's
Deal.
still effective by, because we can read it in the way the second reading, so we
Okay.
can have it effective on February 4th anyway.
Okay.
If
So
that's enough time for you.
yep. it's enough time for me. So with that in mind, does council have any questions on that? Like I said, it's simply just a plan to submit to the state so we can continue down the remedial path.
Sounds good.
So moved.
Need a second.
Second.
Sorry, who made the motion?
Rob.
Lardo, yeah.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
So we'll get that prepared for the 4th. Thank you.
Is that all?
That is all. Thank
Okay.
you.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole and return to normal council meeting.
Second?
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
All right, so then that takes us to new business, ordinances and resolutions. Mr. Pacheco.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number resolution, we're off to a rousing start. Resolution number 2025-658, a resolution appointing representatives to the Claremont County Tax Incentive Review Council. Section 1, or now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Milford, Ohio, Section 1, the City of Milford participates in a tax incentive review council pursuant to Chapter 5709 of the Ohio Revised Code. Each year, the TURC must review tax exempted projects for compliance. City Council hereby appoints City Manager Benjamin Gunderson and Finance Director Pat Worthland as City of Milford representatives to the TURC for calendar year 2025. What I heard from Mr. Gunderson earlier, though, is that is a typo. It should be 2026, right? It's for 2 years, right? Isn't that what they wanted?
There's two options. You can do it for 2 years or you can do it indefinitely. So I elected to do it indefinitely, but that can be, if council disagrees, we can certainly change that.
Well, then that was my misunderstanding. I apologize. So just tell us what we have to do, and I'll amend the legislation right here.
I would put forth that we would make this nomination indefinitely. I don't see the value in rehashing this over and over again.
Yes.
You
Is there a
second?
second to
I
that?
agree.
Janet, second.
Second?
Can we, just for the record purposes, Ms. Bain, we've made a motion to amend it to say indefinitely. Mr. Parrish made it. It was seconded by, by Janet. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. And I'll just amend it by interlineation, which is a fancy. So if we could get a vote on that would be great. Thank you.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Sorry, Ms. Worthland, you're indefinite.
Yes, exactly.
And we still need a motion to adopt that
Perpetuity.
resolution.
Yeah, motion to adopt the
I
amended.
would like to make the motion to adopt the amended resolution. Second?
Good job.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-658, as amended, a resolution appointing representatives to the Claremont County Tax Incentive Review Council. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Milford, Ohio, Section 1, the City of Milford participates in a tax incentive review council pursuant to Chapter 5709 of the Ohio Revised Code. Each year, the TURC must review tax exempted projects for compliance. City Council hereby appoints City Manager Benjamin Gunderson and Finance Director Pat Worthland as City of Milford representatives to the TURC. Period. Section 2, under and in accordance with Section 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this resolution shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Yes, motion to adopt. Second?
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr.
Ordinance number 25-330, an ordinance awarding contract for purchase of rock salt with Compass Materials per state bid number 24-034 SWOP4G for a cost not to exceed $66,000. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. Having solicited and reviewed state bid number 24-034 SWOP4G concerning the purchase of rock salt based on the Service Department's and City Manager's recommendations, City Council hereby awards the bid for such purchase at a cost of $86.81 per ton to add 750 tons to the current 450 tons in the salt barn, to Compass Minerals at a cost not to exceed $66,000 in accordance with the attached bid and contract documents. In Council's judgment, Compass Minerals bid offers the best and most responsive price to the city considering quality, service, price, reputation, and past performances and financial condition. City Council authorizes the City Manager to contract with Compass Minerals to purchase 750 tons of rock salt in accordance with the bid and contract documents at a cost not to exceed $66,000. The bid and contract documents are attached and fully incorporated by reference under and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only?
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Evans? Ms. Evans?
Yes,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Ordinance number 25-330, an ordinance awarding contract for purchase of rock salt with Compass Minerals for state bid number 24-034 SWO P4G for a cost not to exceed $66,000.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-659, a resolution of the City of Milford, Ohio, supporting the Ohio Commission for the United States Semi-Quincentennial, America 250-Ohio. Whereas the Ohio Legislature and the Governor created America 250-Ohio, -OH, which is appropriate, IO, in 2021 to plan, encourage, and develop and coordinate the commemoration of the 250th anniversary of the United States and Ohio's integral role in that event and the role of its people on the nation's past, present, and future. And whereas America 250-OH hopes to engage all Ohioans in all 88 counties through their many signature and officially recognized programs, projects, and events over the next several years by inspiring future leaders and celebrating all Ohioans' contributions to the nation over the last 250 years. And whereas by adoption of the America 250-OH resolution, we hope to educate, preserve, innovate, and celebrate. Now therefore be it resolved, and it is hereby resolved by City Council of the City of Milford hereby endorses America 250-OH and their mission to educate, preserve, innovate, and celebrate every dispensaries. And whereas for the duration of this 180-day moratorium, the city did not take any action to authorize or to establish any adult use cannabis business or operation within the City of Milford, including but not limited to adult use cannabis processors, cultivators, or dispensaries. And whereas by ordinance number 24-303, City Council clarified that this moratorium did not apply to Cascade Southern Ohio LLC's location in the city at 401 Rivers Edge Drive. And whereas for the reasons set forth in ordinance number 24-301, City Council extends the 180-day moratorium established there for another 180 days from the date of the passage of this ordinance. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1, for the reasons set forth in ordinance number 24-301, City Council extends the moratorium imposed there for another 100 days from the date of passage of this ordinance. This moratorium does not apply to Cascade Southern Ohio LLC's location in the city at 401 Rivers Edge Drive. Section 2, pursuant to and in accordance with sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to title only? Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-331, an ordinance imposing an additional 180-day moratorium on adult cannabis. Ordinance number 25-332, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to accept $400,000 from the Ohio Office of Budget and Management for use for 5 Points Landing Park. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. City Council hereby authorizes the city manager to take all action necessary to accept $400,000 from the Ohio Office of Budget and Management for use for 5 Points Landing Park. Section 2. Under and in accordance with Section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only? Second.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ordinance number 25-332, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to accept $400,000 from the Ohio Office of Budget and Management for use for 5 Points Landing Park.
Motion to adopt? Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pacheco. I
you,
don't
Mayor.
think we have any old business, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved? Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Thank you all for coming, and that's it. Thank you.
Stay warm.
Stay warm, yes.